A12X processor, Face ID, USB-C, smaller bezels. It's the new iPad Pro and I'm here to unbox it. I don't just have the new iPad Pro though, I also have a bunch of the new accessories. So here's the iPad Pro 12.9 inch. Also, I have the new Smart Keyboard Folio. I also have the new pencil and I even have a dongle, the USB-C digital AV multi-port adapter because you're gonna need dongles. Let's take a look at these and unbox them one by one. Let's start, of course, with the iPad Pro. Now the iPad Pro comes in 11-inch and 12.9 inch versions this year. The 11-inch is the same size as the 10.5 last year. The 12.9 is smaller than last year's 12.9. Comes in silver and space gray. I have the space gray. It starts at $9.99, which is a bunch for 64, but no, my model costs significantly more. This is the 1 terabyte version with cellular, which comes to $18.99. That is an awfully expensive iPad. Let's see what's inside the box. So, similar packaging to before. And that's the iPad. It just kind of feels like a slab sitting on top. Wrapped up. It no longer has chamfered sides, so it's almost like one piece of a MacBook Pro. It has a flat rectangular feel. All right, well there is the iPad Pro. It feels pretty light when you hold it. It's actually kind of one-handable here. And you can see the new magnetic connector on the side. There is a camera bump on this iPad. Nearly as good as we find on the iPhone XR, but we'll see when we test it. Volume buttons on the side, power button on the top. No home button, that's because there's Face ID right here. If you turn it on, you can see, once it fully lights up, that there's no notch on this. The Face ID camera fully fits into the bezel on the side. It's an LCD screen. It's supposed to be similar display technology to what's in the iPhone XR. Let's put that aside while it starts up. Inside here, you have the Design by Apple in California information, which we can go through in a second. I don't think there are going to be surprises here. Fine print. Some information. This uses similar gesture language to the iPhone X. Now here's something new. The charger is different. That's because the iPad Pro now uses USB-C. So instead of Lightning, what you have here is a USB-C cable. USB-C ends on both sides. So there's that. Should also work with other USB accessories that you have. And this is a USB-C charge brick, not Lightning, so it should charge faster. We'll have to see how it works. It's definitely a different design than has ever come with any iOS device. So there it is. A little wider than the 5 watt though. It might be a bit of a plug outlet devourer if you want something that fits more compactly. Let's put that over there. And let's take a look at the iPad Pro, which is ready to go into general setup. We're not going to take you through the whole installation right now, but you can just see that there's no more notch. It really has a really perfectly framed thin bezel around the sides. You probably will have no idea where Face ID is. It's up here. Face ID also works both in landscape and portrait now, so we're going to do a lot of testing with that, but really feels like something like a detached part of a MacBook Pro, like the top part of it. So let's put all this aside and let's take a look at some of the accessories. iPad over here. And let's rebox part of the boxing on the iPad Pro. Now the pencil, you're probably pretty curious about. Pencil is new this time, so if you have a previous pencil, you cannot use it on the new iPad Pro. This is inductive charging, magnetic. It attaches to the side of the iPad. There's no jutting out of the iPad anymore, and it doesn't use USB-C. This costs $129, so it's more expensive than the previous pencils. Let's check it out. I have my handy blade that I'll use to cut open the sealed packaging. All right. Okay. Take the plastic off of this. There we go. And let's check out the new pencil. You can use the older tips from previous pencils, so that's good news if you have a couple of those lying around. Here's the pencil, nestled inside, also wrapped in plastic. Now it's a little bit smaller than the previous pencil. Also, notably, it has one flat side, which means it's not going to be as easy to roll off a table. That's also where it attaches to the iPad. There is also capacitive touch on the bottom part, so you could two-tap touch and set up certain actions when you use the iPad Pro. And if you want to see how it attaches, let's try this out. It attaches to one part of the iPad, not that one, not that one. There. So just magnetically snaps on, stays there. Feels pretty solid. Also inside the box, let's see what else comes in here. Previously, I believe they included some spare tips. Do they still include a spare tip? I don't see one. Unless it's hiding inside this documentation. Tells you how to unscrew the tip. Well, that's what you get with Apple Pencil. So what's nice is that you don't have to worry about losing the cap this time. It's all self-contained. But it is annoying that you have to get a new one. I really wish that they had found some way to have the two work with all the models. All right, so let's put that over here, and let's move on to the Smart Keyboard Folio. Now, Apple's had its own attachable keyboards using its smart magnetic connector on the back. The Keyboard Folio is much more like what Logitech makes and other companies. It's meant to be more lap-friendly. It doesn't have a trackpad, though, unlike what you can get on a Surface or what you can get on Pixel Slate, so it's a little disappointing. Also, the price is high. This is $199 for this keyboard. Now, I mean, keyboard cases do get expensive for the iPad, but this is a step higher in price than what Apple's previous smart keyboard was. However, this also offers back protection, so it's a lot more like what Logitech has offered in the past with its Folio cases. There are two different angles magnetically, so let's check this out. Take off the plastic wrap. By the way, the version of this for the 11-inch is a little less expensive. Put that over there, and let's open this up. This is studded with magnets, so according to Apple, this should attach very seamlessly to the iPad, lock into place, feel like it'll stay there, not move around too much. But it might move if you keep jostling the iPad. Let's take off the plastic. This has like a soft rubberized feel to it. This has a little divider in here, which probably also has the guide on what to do. There's no need to charge this. Again, this charges up via the smart connector on the back of the iPad Pro. And let's move this off to the side. And take a look at this and start assembling our iPad Pro accessory package here. So if you open this up, it's pretty basic. So just opens up flat, that's it. Has a bit of an origami folding thing here to help it get to the right angle. If you put the iPad into it, and see how that feels. Well, I have the iPad upside down, so nothing happened. But if you get it the right way, yeah, it just magnetically just snapped into place. So that felt pretty satisfying. And if you want to attach it, you have to detach here and have that move into that setting or that setting. Turning it around, if you want to attach your pencil, pops right on top. All self-contained. If you want to fold it back up again, you do that. Pencil stays on the outside, so make sure you just don't knock it loose against anything. Camera fits right in there, kind of like a iPhone case design. It feels very solid, very clean. So that's the Keyboard Folio, which is $200, with the Apple Pencil, which is $129, with the high-end iPad Pro, which is $1899. That's a chunk of change for a high-end iPad. But there's more. I said there's a dongle, so let's unbox that dongle. Dongle unboxing. This will happen to you too if you get one of these, because the USB-C port, which by the way is over here, does work with a variety of accessories, not with storage though. SD card reader, yes. It will be able to charge things, maybe your Nintendo Switch and your iPhone if you have the right cord. And it will also work to export video to displays, but mirrored, so kind of like what the iPad did before. But if you want to split it and have it work with other USB cables, you're going to need a dongle. Apple's USB-C digital AV multi-port adapter is $70, so that's a lot. But it has HDMI, USB, and another USB-C. If you're a MacBook owner, you are familiar with dongles like these. So at least maybe you could use your collective dongles in your dongle collection. How many times can I say dongle in one unboxing video? So here it is. This is not new, but I have it, so let's unbox it. And just know what you're in for. If you've had the Lightning connected one, there have been also similar types of dongles. So you're just gonna have to get a new one with USB-C. USB-C, there are the ports. Let's move this off to the side, and then you're gonna plug that in there. Not the most elegant solution, but when you need it, I guess you've got it. So that's the iPad Pro unboxed. Now it's time to use it and have fun with it. And keep in mind the iPad Pro is launching alongside new Macs, and so the iPad is still a product that's part of the line, but not exactly dovetailing with the rest of the Mac line. Is this a step up? We'll see. Stay tuned for the full review. I'm Scott Stein with the new iPad Pro.